children break these things. You can break it.
Peg him!
Yeah! I hate this! On the face, please. No face. Where do you want me to hit you? Where else?
We're in the bottom of the ninth, and here comes the first. Oh, right the.
That chin is here.
Boogie is probably the saddest individual I've ever had the pleasure, or I guess displeasure. I don't know if I like seeing this or not, but they have just the saddest individual I think I've ever seen in my life. Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and if you are new here, I highly recommend subscribing, letting me know in the comments what I can do to improve on this content and how to make better videos, what videos you prefer to see. And I know there's going to be some people seeing a DMZ video and Call of Duty video come up soon. Prefer content like that, or if you like both, I'll do both. Just let me know what I can do to improve, so you guys get caught in this like infinite psychological loop, constantly giving me feedback, and when the feedback gets in the comments, it gets recommended to more people comment. You guys keep giving me free feedback, you know what I mean? Today we are talking about Boogie2988. Boogie is an interesting individual and is pretty much considered a lolcow at this point. And if you don't know what a lolcow is just an internet punching bag, more or less. There's no really other way to describe it other than that. Someone who just clings desperately to attention on the internet for some unforeseen reason. No one can really piece it together. Maybe mental illness, maybe they're pursuing something that they lost, maybe something psychological deep down that they really need to resolve that they refuse to go figure out on their own. Just really, they dig their own grave deeper and deeper, and they don't really see it. They can't really push past the idea like, hey, maybe I'm the problem, and they just keep making it worse for themselves, and they just double down. Boogie has a long history of doing such, and it's not always been like that. He's actually been a somewhat respected creator for, I would say, the earlier years of YouTube. At this point, I can say like the earliest I've seen him was probably like 8 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, but it started going downhill within the past 5 or 6 years, probably earlier. Then I guess I just never really kept up to date on him. There was even a documentary that came out about him where it just exposed him as a whole for being a horrible, degenerative person who does not care about his own health, the people around him, keeping his relationship, keeping a stable income, just blew his money willy-nilly all over the place. You know, he's just, let's go gambling, you know what I mean? What I'm saying isn't like groundbreaking news. There have been plenty of videos on the internet, and I mean, there was a documentary, for Christ's sake. I mean, everyone's covered this, just an awful person, and it directly contrasts the behavior we're seeing now when he's teamed up with Keemstar. And I don't know if it's like really a team up. I kind of feel like it's like a very manipulative relationship, but the way Boogie acts is just so pathetic. I kind of just don't really care. It's his doing. He can easily avoid all of this, and he refuses to do it. There was the whole I faked cancer thing. That's what you're seeing in the, you know, he's holding up the sign and people are hitting him with water balloons and shit for. He had the word liar tattooed on the side of his fucking face. Shortly after, of course, he admitted he actually just lied about having cancer, hence, you know, the sign and et cetera, et cetera. But I was like, how the fuck did Keemstar convince him to do this shit? And I've seen him, like, convince him to do a lot of bullshit, and just Boogie have constant emotional meltdowns and not be able to control himself as like a 50-something-year-old man is fucking insane to me.
We could probably give him the fucking
So
code.
Vera's not on there. Vera's not on the portal.
I don't know, man.
It's not.
I can send you a bunch of stuff.
You said 4 days ago you were looking at it.
Yeah, 4 days ago you said you were looking at it.
Like
So
I
it's
told you,
it's
I
not
spent
on
the
there.
last, like I told you, I spent the last 2 years getting treated for it. I've been told by my doctor for the last 2 years.
It's fine,
this is
Boogie.
fake.
Just admit it's not on the portal.
It's not on there. I told you this.
Okay,
I told
thank
I have
you.
to do.
No, you hear that annoying ass tone and attitude in his voice. It's sort of an entitlement, or like a teenager, you know what I mean? Like, get off my back, you know? But I did this, and I did that, and I did this, and I told you I was being treated for it, but that's not what it says. And at the end of the day, all these fucking people are asking for are like actual, just a yes or no answer. That is it. Do you have it? Yes or no. Do you have results? Yes or no. And he dragged this out for quite a while, just saying like, I have the result, but it's the last thing. It's the last thing of privacy that I have. I'm not showing it to you. And people were like, all right, you just said you couldn't afford it, and that's why you've been struggling with it for so long. You can't afford the treatment, so I'll just pay you if you DM me privately or show us privately off stream, off camera, et cetera, et cetera. We can even meet up if you want to. I'll pay you like thousands of dollars. And he was just like, no.
What's your weight doing right now?
Down because I'm on a medication that I can no longer afford, by the way, but I've lost 24 pounds on the piece of shit. But I get to cut it all back on because I don't have the money.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you Emotional Instability Exhibit A. What the fuck was the crash out even for? And I think it's really funny that people like Wings of Redemption are sitting right there. And I've seen a couple clips where Wings of Redemption was like the fucking, you know, your come to Jesus moment guy. Like he was the guy to explain to you what you did wrong. And this is fucking Wings of Redemption. If you know who he is, he was like an old Call of Duty content creator back then. I'm talking like Black Ops 1, like old shit, dude. I'm talking like old school, like Scene-Anners, them motherfuckers, all them the OG shit, right? Fucking maybe a couple years later, he starts having some serious problems, you know, and refuses to innovate on his content. Washed, you know, he's not good anymore. He started streaming, getting exposed for treating his teammates like shit, talking shit on everyone in his life, you know, blaming everyone but himself. Have you ever seen him fucking play Siege? You would know. Someone needs to fucking ban this guy from having internet access.
I under fucking stand that. I understand that, team. I understand that.
If you don't calm down, you're going to have a heart attack.
I'm not gonna fucking show the record. I'm not gonna...
Couldn't even get someone like Sneeko to do some shit like this. And Sneeko has been on a non-stop humiliation ritual since the time he said that Cuties was a good idea to watch the fucking movie. If you know, you know. But if you don't know, Sneeko is just an actual cuck, self-admitted. And he said other people should try it too. And I'm pretty sure that was just a way for him to make himself feel better about his actions. When in reality, deep down, he regretted them and he just should have never talked about it publicly about how other people should do it. The difference between these two should be maturity and age, and they seem to share the same level of maturity, just difference in age. And I don't understand it, dude. Like you gotta look in the mirror one day in the morning and look at yourself. You have gray hairs. You should not be fucking groveling at the feet of other people just to fucking get a crumb of relevance, a crumb of money. Do fucking something else. This is fucking sad. Are you seeing this? You had a fucking face tap for Keemstar. And I'm not even gonna let him forget about the moment where he was arguing with Destiny, and I'm gonna give you a warning now. This gets into very sensitive topics such as health, self-harm, and self-offing. He got in an argument with Destiny of all people, and he made a good point. Like, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and argue with the guy who thinks Donald Trump should have been offed, you know what I mean? Like, shit like that. And I'm not saying I agree with Destiny, but Destiny had a good fucking point about being just insane and doing things that are way too extreme for when the actual conversation was happening.
You've been extremely suicidal, like extremely, for like years, like a couple years ago. Like every day you talked about it.
It's been 5 years since I've talked about it and since I felt that way. I'm so glad I fucking
Can we
stopped.
stop the cringe impassioned speeches? Like, you still lie about everything. You lie about literally every single part of your life.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
gonna continue to lie about almost everything.
Everything I just said was a lie, right?
You're God. You were never suicidal. You love yourself way too much to ever kill yourself, okay? You're way too narcissistic. You would never be suicidal. You'd let the world burn to ashes around you before you even considered hurting yourself any more than...
Whoa.
Okay, well, that was what my joke was going to be. I was saying any more than stuffing your mouth full with a cheeseburger. Like that.
Last I fucking heard, the guy who laughed at fucking Donald Trump's assassination attempt is telling people to cut their fucking arms. Go fuck yourself.
I'm just saying that it would be a lot cheaper than wasting your money on Diet Dr. Mountain Dew or whatever the fuck.
Read like a fucking book. Boogie does exactly what Destiny says, and he just leans right into it, taking it to the extreme, some shit out of the Matrix, 1-to-1, and he pulls out an actual knife. And I don't know if I actually show it on YouTube, but he signals that he's going to harm himself, specifically across his arm. Dude, you just had the discussion not even 5 seconds ago about you taking things to the extreme, and you just did it. Yeah, we have the object permanence, the memory permanence of a goddamn goldfish. This man takes like puffing out your chest to the extreme literal. Like, what is he, my Siege teammates? He's just crashing out over fuck all. The motherfuckers that leave the game if you don't revive them fast enough. You're probably like Warzone or zombies or something. Them motherfuckers, that's him. They all look like that. Fuck them. One part of me wants to go like, dude, you gotta have some self-respect. You gotta start taking care of yourself. You gotta get yourself out of a situation like this. This is not it. This is not the play. This shit is not it. And if you open the comments on any of these videos, you can see that like a lot of people have the same sentiment. There's all kinds of people saying like, dude, you got to take care of yourself. You got to have some self-respect. You can't keep getting treated like this. And tinfoil hat theory here coming on. Maybe he's kind of doing this because of these comments coming in, and he's doing it to get that like woe is me sympathy, because that's kind of the attitude he's given off. It doesn't matter where I've seen him. It kind of feels like it's something he would want. Then the other part of me is like, yeah, he fucking deserves it. He's keeping himself there. So fucking what? Womp womp. You're a grown-ass adult. You should not be acting like this. Get the fuck over it. Eyes in the bag, big dog. It's your time. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Let me know in the comments what you think about the whole situation. Feedback on the video, etc., etc. Whatever you feel, sharing. You know, it's an open discussion down there. I feel everyone should have the chance at the floor, and everyone should be able to, you know, have a conversation back and forth and come to a conclusion, or maybe just sharing opinion. Like if you like it, dislike it, share it with everyone you know. Subscribe to stick around. See ya.